Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking a little walk into Brockholes, which is a nature reserve from the Lancashire Wildlife Trust. It's right by the M6. You can probably see the M6 traffic just behind me over there. But it's a beautiful place. It's actually one of the places where I did one of my first vlogs, which I never published because it had massive audio issues. I did one here and I did one at Plover Scar Lighthouse. But this place is lovely. I haven't got a lot of time today. I was sort of nearby, so I thought create a bit of content while I'm out, and today was a good day. I got a really nice email about inspiring someone, so hopefully that sets the tone for the day, which would be really nice. The light is quite harsh and vibrant at the moment. You can see the sun behind me over there, but I'm just taking a walk by the Ribble, which is just next to me here, and I've got a shot in mind. The building here, the cafe, sort of the retail unit, it actually floats on this man-made lake which they've created at the reserve, and it's quite a unique building. And I spotted on Facebook the other day that I knew that they did a photography competition every month where you can win afternoon tea for two or something, but this month's is shots of the reserve, and that means anything goes really, I suppose, like the landscape, the beautiful nature, the wildlife within the reserve. But also that got me thinking about the quite unique building, and it is quite a unique building. The architecture of it is quite interesting, and if you go into the building you can find out how they floated it and that kind of thing. And I've got an idea. I want to try and get a shot from across the lake using this harsh, vibrant light to my advantage to get a good reflection in the lake itself. So if I get the shot, that's great. I might not. It might not come off as is in my head. We all have those moments, but it's just one of them things that I wanted to give a go, have a try whilst I was here. And if nothing else comes from it, then I've had a lovely walk down by the river. I'm not exactly dressed for the occasion because I'm wearing running shoes, but it could be worse. It's a little bit wet underfoot, but I'm sure this beautiful sunshine will dry things out nicely. Right, I need to try and find the perfect place to take this shot that's in my head. Hopefully I'll find it. Okay, so I have finally found a shot that I'm quite happy with. I've been pretty much around the entire nature reserve, and yeah, I couldn't find some of the places. Some of the tracks are shut off for wildlife only and staff only and stuff like that, but I've come quite close to the actual reserve. I'm on the end of like a little pontoon thing which you can see behind me, and I'm taking a shot with a 10 stop on, long exposure, which I'm thinking about doing something quite cool with. Right, that was 41 seconds. I reckon if I look for about 32 seconds, it should be all right. I'm basically shooting into the lake to get the reflections, but then when I get it into post-processing and do a few little tweaks, I might invert it so the sky is at the bottom and the reflections are at the top, just to throw you off a little bit. I think that would make quite a unique little image. It might look terrible, but I think that's the idea that I've got so far. So we're coming up to 30 now, 31, it's about 32 I reckon, probably about right. Yeah, that's nice. I've got the reflections. I've even got the clouds reflecting. There's quite a few clouds kicking about now actually, but it just looks quite nice, and I think once I invert it, it'll look quite good. So if it's any good, I'll put it up now. quite happy with that shot really, considering it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to use a long lens from further away and try and get a bit more of the lake, but because stuff is closed for wildlife, which is great because they're preserving the place, which is good, then I had to think on my feet a little bit and used my wide angled lens and go in closer. But I'm quite happy with it. It was a bit funny because I knew I wanted to invert the image, then I had to shoot on an angle so it looked right upside down, so that the reflection would look like it was the subject, if you get what I mean. But I think that's it from today. I'm just walking home via this different path, which is actually where I keep my eye open, because on that first vlog, no, it might not have been that first vlog, it might have been another visit here to Brockholes. There's a deer around here with one eye, and I managed to get a shot from quite a distance away with my old 300mm lens, and it wasn't great, it didn't look perfect, but he's here somewhere, or he used to be here a few years ago, so I'm just keeping my eye out, and I'm just going to enjoy this last bit of peace and quiet before heading back to the car and heading home back to normal life. So as always, thanks for joining me. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. I'll pop a few more images up at the end, because I took a couple of others that I think will look good in black and white. But as always, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.